we got a clearer time frame of Trump's surrender. This evening, the FAA issued a temporary flight restriction over the Fulton County Jail for VIP movement from 6:45 p.m. until 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Atlanta News First Tori Cooper live outside that courthouse. And Tori, today it was chaotic with Giuliani's appearance, but tomorrow it could be even more intense.
That's right, Sean. And former President Donald Trump will be traveling from New Jersey to right here at the Fulton County Jail, where he will be surrendering himself and he will be processed. He will have to take fingerprints and he will have to take a mugshot that then will be made public. This is all going to take place around 7 o'clock. We're told it's only going to take about an hour, but after that, he's free to go, but he will have to watch what he says. Around 7 o'clock tomorrow night, former President Donald Trump will be arriving in Georgia to turn himself in at the Fulton County Jail. It's the first time in history that a former president will have his mugshot taken and fingerprints documented in a local jail. He will be free to go until the trial starts, but he will be barred from communicating, intimidating, or threatening any co-defendants, witnesses, or victims in the case, either directly or indirectly, and that includes on social media. Political expert attorney Josh Schiffer explaining what the judge could do if Trump doesn't hold up his end of the bond agreement.
The remedy the court has is to revoke or take away your bond, return your surety to you, if that's necessary, and then lock you up.
Schiffer says Trump will have to watch what he says on social media because anyone can report him, even prosecutors.
If there's an allegation made either by a private citizen, law enforcement, or the courts can do it.
Under the bond agreement, Trump cannot violate any state or local laws. He cannot make any threats directly or indirectly toward the community or any community property, even if it's on social media.
If you can't be trusted and agree to do that, the court will ensure your participation in the process by keeping you in custody.
Now, it is certainly a media frenzy out here. There are tents. I'm standing under one right now, at least 8 tents down the street, and we've been pushed back. We are anticipating that former President Donald Trump will be going through the back entrance of the jail, and we are nowhere near the entrance. So this is likely going to be a pretty tightened location because we are anticipating that he will, of course, have his Secret Service with him. And we'll be out here bringing you the live coverage as we learn more as this situation transpires. Reporting live outside the Fulton County Jail tonight, I'm Tori Cooper, Atlanta News First.
On the top